I just finished Book Lovers by Henry. I just finished Book Lovers by Emily Henry, and first impressions, overall impressions, 5-10 minutes after reading it. I love this book so much. 5 out of 5 stars. I think the ending is what sealed the deal on my rating, because an ending really, you know, makes or breaks a book. And I feel like this book definitely got me inspired to read again and get back onto my reading goal, because it's been a few months of just kind of being in a rut. So I highly recommend this book if you have not heard of Book Lovers. It's all over the place. It's on all the like summer recommendation reading lists out there. Enemies to lovers trope, but this time it's a city person, main character Nora, who is a career focused, busy all the time person, and she and her sister go to Sunshine Falls in North Carolina, which is a small town that was featured in a book, because Nora is a literary agent, so there's a heavy book theme in this book, hence the title, Book Lovers. So if you love romance, if you love books, this book will be for you. And Emily Henry's writing is great. This book was so witty. I've only read People We Met on Vacation, which is I think the book that came out before this, and I know Emily Henry has another book called Beach Read, which I have not read yet. I should probably get that and read that this summer. The writing was phenomenal, so witty, so funny. The two characters are so sarcastic. I really appreciated the theme of like slowing down and like being present and mindful in this book, which is a topic that Emily Henry explored with Nora, who is the busy, always on the go person, and her sister sees that she just needs to, you know, get out of the city and slow down. So I love that aspect of it as well. I think another big theme is hope, and I'll just leave it at that because I don't want to go in too deep with the details of the book, because I'm just gonna let you find out for yourself. But I highly recommend it. Very in love with this book, and I'm just kind of high on finishing it at this point, and I'm sad that it ended. I personally hate endings, TV shows, movies, books, life, relationships, careers. I hate endings to all things, because that means whatever you have that's so great and good that's happening for you now ends, and that is kind of also in this book, the whole like sadness around endings. So I'm definitely sad that I finished the book, but I'm also happy that I experienced and took the time to go through the story. On that note, I have come to my parents for the weekend. You have noticed I am not in my usual space, and I am by myself. This is like a solo getaway, I'm calling it, because I am romanticizing my weekend with staying at my parents and thinking like it's a vacation when it's kind of like a staycation, and I'm not spending all this money to get away. But haven't seen the fam in quite a long time, a few months now, and just wanted to come and spend some time and get away from my usual routine. And so far it's been good for me. I feel like this trip, combined with just the book and other things that have been happening, it just feels right to kind of get out of my routine and the usual pace of life and get away for a little bit. And I think that's also kind of the whole vibe of summer, with, you know, vacations and things like that. So I'm all on board with that. I'm just trying to kind of be present and make the most of this trip. It's actually pretty cold and chilly, and I think it's gonna rain, or it's gonna be raining at some point. And I did not pack correctly. I think the last time I came home I did not pack correctly, because I thought it was going to be warmer than it actually is. So I have like shorts, I have dresses, I don't have any jeans or pants. Like the only pants I brought are like leggings for sleeping in. So yet again, I am away from my house, away from home, and I've not packed properly. But that's just kind of part of the whole like vacation vibe, right? You only pack a limited amount of things, and you have to be resourceful and creative with what you have, or you just go and buy new clothes, I guess, if it's really that bad, but we're not doing that. We're making the most of the situation. So now that I have finished reading, it is lunchtime. I am starving. I think I'm just gonna go get some sushi because that's easy and comfortable, and I just need something, you know, that reminds me of comfort and home and also fills me up. So I think I'm just gonna go get some sushi, and then the plans for the afternoon, I wanted to go on a hike or like just go outside and explore, but I only brought shorts and it's cold. We might make that happen anyway, and I think I'm gonna go to a bookstore and just do some browsing. Not particularly looking to buy a book right now, but if something jumps out, catches my eye, we'll get it. Maybe I will buy Beach Read because I am going on a trip in July. So next month I'm going to a girls trip with two of my friends, and I think that would be the perfect book to take for that trip. I also want to finish reading another book that you guys are probably really sick of me talking about, but I just have not finished it, and I'm really surprised with myself because I've been really good lately with reading and finishing books, but this one has just not been, I just have not been able to finish it. Breaking the Maafa Chain by Anni Domingo. I talked about this, I think 2 videos ago. Again, expanding on my reading slump, and I just have not been able to finish this book, but I'm determined to finish it. Probably not this weekend because it's a long book and there's still quite a ways to go, but I want to get through a good chunk of the pages at least to pick up the momentum. Books take me very long, and I'm determined to finish it because it's not a terrible book at all. It's amazing. It's just the topic is very heavy, and I just haven't been in the right headspace to read it. So I think now that I have finished my romance book and I was able to escape and get away and find joy and comfort in that, I'm ready to kind of finish this book, get back into it, and then call it finished and then move on to the next. So with that said, friends, let's go get some sushi, eat lunch, and do whatever else I feel like doing in the moment because we're being present. We're being present. All right. You like sushi? Any books at the bookstore. I had restraint, and then I was really tempted to buy that Beach Read like small version. I don't know what those kinds of books are called, but I decided not to because I want to get the actual real published cover, whatever, for my Emily Henry collection. Anyway, the bookstore trip actually reminded me how I already have a ton of books like that I already bought that I need to read, and I'm actually have been re-inspired to read. Like, I saw a lot of books I already have on like the stacks or like the curated sections, and I was like, oh, I have this. Oh yeah, I have this. Hopefully I'm re-inspired to get back into reading more. Anyway, I've changed my outfit. I am at the river, one of the riverfront areas. There's a lot of great hiking where I am from, and that's my favorite thing about where I grew up and where I'm from. And I always love coming home in the summer and going out on a hike because there's so many different places you can go to. And I also need to get away from my family because I spent a good amount of time today with my mom and my niece, and I just need solo Sheila time. So we're gonna go to a walk, look at the river. I did bring my sketchbook in case I wanted to sit in the grass and draw. It's a very peaceful area that I am at right now. So let's go on a little exploration trip, shall we?
presses. Breaking news. I've officially finished this book. Yay! If you haven't already liked this video and you made it this far, make sure you hit the like button because I want to know that you are supporting me in this long journey of finishing Breaking the Maafa Chain by Anni Domingo, which I don't even remember when I started it. Sometime in May, I think. So it took me about a month to finish the book, which is not a bad thing. I am not against slow reading. I am all for slow reading, but considering my normal pace and pattern that I've developed in my reading skills and speed, it was a little longer than it usually takes for me to read a book. And I've mentioned it in several videos that I was reading it and struggling to read it. So I just want to congratulate myself, pat on the back, a round of applause that I have finished this book. I finished it last night. I was very disciplined. I was committed because I wanted to finish the book for this video, and not getting this video up was kind of in conjunction with not finishing the book, which happens a lot when I have reading vlogs. But I just wanted to at least finish it so I could share my thoughts and just end the saga of my reading slump with this book. But I really, really enjoyed this book. I ended up giving it a 4 out of 5 stars because the ending was realistic, I would say, but just not what I was hoping would happen. And I think for such a book like this, which is based on, it's not entirely based on a true story. One of the characters, one of the sisters, is based on an actual girl person, grew up in England and was the goddaughter of Queen Victoria. That part at least was true, but all the other characters were not true, including the sister who the young girl is trying to find. That was completely made up. So although it is based on history, it was entirely historical fiction, but I really enjoyed it, and I enjoyed the characters and the overall journey, and I'm just really glad that I finally finished the book. And I have officially finished 2 books, read 2 books for the month of June, which means I have 1 book left that I need to read. I have no idea what I'm going to read next. I was looking at my bookshelf trying to figure out what I'm in the mood for, and not sure yet. We have to sit and take a break for a while and then see what strikes my interest. Thank you so much for being here, coming along for this video, which at this point was a week earlier when I filmed all that, so it took me a full another week to totally finish this book, which is totally fine. If you are in a reading slump or you just take your time reading something, that's completely fine. But I will also say that if you do not want to finish a book, that is also okay. I wanted to finish this book because I was invested in the story. I really enjoyed it, but it was just hard to get into for a myriad of reasons, which I will stop talking about, because if you have been watching all of my videos, you know the journey and the culmination of how I've gotten this far. Anyway, thank you friends for being here, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!